Hello, this is Power Panda. Today is a special day. Divergent Paths has been released in its final form. You can download it from romhacking.net or ff6hacking.com. It is also Father's Day here in America, so I'm going to do a Father's Day special in order to celebrate. First off, I want to show Gau has no equipment, and he has Rage, Magic, and Item as his command. So what we're going to do is we're going to do two sections of the game that really focus on fatherhood. You have already seen this first one with Gau and Cyan confronting Gau's father, but you haven't seen it with all the characters. So I'm going to demonstrate that. Oh, hello again. Yep, you were the tops. That's why we... Quick, fix that chair. Then you can use it to reach the roof. You don't suppose. Gau, could this be your father? Whoa. I speak the truth, don't I, Gau? Father? Yes, I believe it to be so. Gau's father? Gau! How exciting. Let's go tell your father the news. He needs to know you're his son. However, we can't just go there with you looking like this. I know. Let's go to Jador and get you some proper clothes. Okay, so we're going to pause on this scene before I read any of the dialogue. You'll note that all of the main characters are here. So we have Setzer, Leo, Terra, Edgar, all of them. Shadow is lying in bed. He's taking a nap while all of this is happening. And the reason that I included Mog and Kappa in my party as I did this is because the optional characters, Gogo, Mog, Umaro, and Kappa, do not normally appear in this scene. However, if you bring them, then the two that you have in your party will stand behind Gau, and they'll be in the rest of the scenes as well. So that's why I've brought those two. Alright, let's go. No, Gau, don't eat with your fingers. Yow. Don't say yow when you mean yes. Ho! And in this scene, you can see that everyone is there. Mog is sitting in the chair, Kappa is down below Realm, and Leo has been added to the scene by the fruit basket. How do you like these? Wait, what about those? Do they come in tiger stripes? Did you say something? No, nothing. Which is it gonna be? Oh, this is nice, but do you think it becomes Gau? What do you think, Shadow? Shadow turns around. Great insight, thanks. When I was his age, I looked quite dashing in a crisp, freshly pressed uniform. We always joked that we could cut bread with your shirt creases. I really want to sketch this. Don't sketch Gau, dear. That could break the universe as we know it. Of course, referring to the Realm sketch glitch. I got it. A suede leisure suit and a rose in his teeth. I think that's overdoing it just a bit. He should have a bandana on his head. That exchange was bugged out in the original version. You could never see it. What's so great about a bandana? Most of the time I see him tied around dogs at the beach. Hey, what do you mean by that? Phew, you all completely lack any sense of fashion. Excuse me, sir, could you order this young man a nice suit? This is it. Me go to funeral? Perfect. Functional yet proper. Done. Ready, Gau? Your father will be proud to have a son like you. Oh. Excuse me, sir. Who in blazes are you? Oh, the repairman. Sir, you had a son. Do you remember? Son? Right. The truth is, he's alive. Come here, Gau. Father... What is this? What's with this son business? I never had a son. But now that you mention it, I once had a terrible dream. In it, a demon child was born. I grabbed the creature and rushed off to the Veldt with it. It was crying like crazy when I arrived on the Veldt. But, sir... I left the child there, and without looking back, I turned and started to run. I'm trying to tell you. Suddenly, the crying stopped. I turned around and saw a frightful monster. Hideous, still gives me the shakes. I give up. But you, young man, your parents must be proud of you. I still have dreams of that demon child. Frightening. Why, you've completely lost your mind. How could you say such a thing? Wow. Go, Father, alive. Happy. Go, thou hast such a good heart. Just like Owain. Right. It's decided then. It seems to me that you need a father, Gau. When this is all over, you can live with me. I'll teach you to be a knight. What say you? Yo! I mean, yes! Cyan and Gau formed a bond. Cyan learned all remaining Bushido techniques. Gau gained the ability to fight. And he did indeed gain the ability to fight. He also has the Master Fist. This is an item that was added to your inventory. It brings his battle power up to 250. So he does a good job fighting with this. Make sure I don't have the Moogle Charm. Just going to do a quick optimize to show it off. Oh, that's right. Optimize doesn't work on Kappa. And we're going to equip the bracers. And here's Gau with the ability to fight. Now Gau, if you have trained him with the right espers, can be pretty strong at this point. Kappa, of course, has the best equipment in the game, but only the best equipment. There is actually another weapon for Kappa that you can get from the Colosseum or from morphing. You can get the Ogre Nyx, which was not the best item in the original game because it broke all the time. But in this game it's unbreakable, only Kappa can equip it, and it is slightly less powerful than the Imp Partisan, but it gets a critical almost every time. Alright, for the next part of this Father's Day special, we are going to put in Leo, Terra, and then the other two don't matter, but we're going to do Locke and Celis so that we have all the main characters in our party for this scene. Now, before we head out, I want to visit our NPCs. We didn't get a chance to talk about this, but there are 6 recruitable NPCs in the world of Rune. Sid, but only if you save him by feeding him the good fish. Arvis, Maria, Siegfried, Lone Wolf, and Mid. So Mid is one that was added to explain the breakable tools. He just opens a tool shop on the Falcon. If you have Edgar at the lead of your party, it is half price. Lone Wolf sells items that are not available in other shops, specifically X Potion, X Ether, Magicite, and Rename Card. And the rest are just useful ones for you to get. Arvis is taking the place of the random old man that was on your crew at the beginning. So he unequips party members. Maria optimizes them. Now it fades to black because otherwise the pallets... Optimize takes so much system resources that the pallets will cycle when you are optimizing, so I had to do a quick fade to black. And Siegfried sells Shadow's throwing weapons in an easy spot. Smoke Bomb and Super Ball now classified as throwing weapons. Now we don't need any of those. We've got all of our equipment optimized. And we're just going to do Moogle Charm because we don't need to fight battles during this showcase. You'll also note that I redid the internals of the Falcon a little bit. Rather than the door to the special room being here, I moved it here because it fit the geometry of the room, and I added windows so that it felt less dank. For this, we will need to go to Figaro Castle. Go to Figaro. There is another team who is doing a 4-player multi-tab version of Brave New World. And during one of their tests, they bugged out Figaro Castle, so it never sank, but it flew over mountains and it was controllable by the character. And now everyone wants to see that hack happen. Okay, this cave right here, the palette has changed. That is because it is now an aquatic cave, considering that it used to be underwater. And if you bring Mog to this cave, you will be able to learn Water Rondo in the world of Rune. So Water Rondo is not immissable anymore. Of course, we have our Moogle Charm equipped, and we're going to keep it. Because we are interested in the castle. In the original game, when you stepped to the top of this staircase, you would get a cutscene that whoever was the first in your character index, so Terra, then Locke, then Shadow, Edgar, Sabin, Celis, whoever was first would narrate this to you of what happened in this ancient castle. If Umaro was the only person in your team, then Umaro would wax eloquent on it. But in this version, you can't go in right away. I know of this place. Leo and Terra have to be in your party, and Leo will narrate because he has special knowledge. It's an Esper attack. Let's show him some of our Esper magic. A 1,000 years in the past, a battle was waged here. If you come here with any other characters, you'll just bounce off the barrier, and they'll say, "Oh, I wonder how we get in," or something like that. Only Odin remains. Are your wounds healed? We're fresh out of options. We'll have to leave this battle in Odin's hands. A city, ruined during the War of the Magi. Atom Edge! This sprite was changed. You'll see why in a second. It used to be the ghost sprite and it never made sense to me. Atom Edge. Don't do it. You can't turn me into Magicite. There's an ancient legend. It tells of the first Templar, who defeated Odin by neutralizing his magic. This became the runic technique, the only defense against the Esper's power. Terra, if we combine your Esper aura with my runic, I think we can get through the barrier. go, most of these are still the same. You can get the offering. We're not going to do that because it's a little bit of a difficult battle. But also, this is where you get a new relic. The Shock Bangle. And we'll just grab a hairpin also. And if you equip the Shock Bangle to Leo, Runic will turn into Shock. So by the end of the Ancient Castle, you'll have the offering and the Shock Bangle, and you can have Leo act like he did in the original game with X-Fight and Shock. Odin turned into dull magicites. So we do not, at this point, have Odin. He's not on our list of Espers yet. We do, however, have a rare item called the Dull Magicite. It's a magicite that has lost its light. A book with a gem-encrusted cover. Queen's Diary. I realize now that I am in love with Odin. This breaks every rule of our society. But my heart longs for this noble, elegant man. How could anyone blame me? After the fighting is over, I'm going to bare my soul to him. There's a note scribbled in the back. 5 steps from my throne. That hint originally given in the Figaro library because I wanted you to come once for the Odin Magicite, get it in your party for a while, and then come back to get Raiden. Back to fight here. Even the queen was turned to stone. Love between a human and an Esper. Yes, I've seen it once before. Back when I first joined Gestall's army, I was assigned to guard the jail. One of the inmates was special. He was not a criminal. He was an Esper. Through the long months, we became friends. I would tell him stories from the human world, and he would tell me all about the Esper world. I learned about the War of the Magi from him, and about the ancient order of the Templars. Always, though, his thoughts strayed to his wife, his human wife, and their child. He loved them more than life itself and would do anything to find them again. So, we made a plan. When I rose to the rank of general, I cut a deal with Gestall. I would forego a Magitech infusion, becoming a Templar instead, and he would free the Esper to search for his family. When I went to deliver the news to my friend, he was already gone. I never saw him again. I always assumed he had found his wife and child. I only learned the truth when Celis and Cid dismantled the Magitech factory. I had never suspected that Maduin was being held in a lab, or that you, Terra, were his daughter. But never doubt that his love for your mother, for you, it was real. As real as the love the orphans have for you. Leo, I believe I understand what you're trying to say. A tear comes from the stone. The dull magicite begins to glow, and becomes the magicite Odin. So now we have Odin, Meteor, X-Zone, and Quick. We no longer have the dull magicite. And we know a little bit more about Leo's story. Now, I'm just going to... Oh, apparently apparently fight this blue dragon. But we're going to pause because I just want to talk a little bit about Leo. That's the end of what we're streaming today. But this is the culmination of Leo's story. This is where he finally reveals what his backstory was. After this scene, you may want to go back and watch the Raising a Vector sequence and also the message on the boat that he gives to Terra. In the Raising a Vector, when it starts off, when it comes up from the camera, he is in the Magitech lab with Celes and Sid, and he is reading the inscription on Maduin's tank. That is the moment that he found out that he had been betrayed by Gestalt, as soon as the Espers attacked. But still, he defends the city because that's who he is. Then at the end of that, he finds out that not only was Maduin being held in a lab, but that Kefka's brainwashed sorceress was Terra. Now, the most important part to note is that I'm going to try to fight. The most important part to note is that he has been dealt a huge personal blow, but Gestalt and Kefka don't know it. They don't know that his faith in the Empire has been shaken by that point. And that's really important for them sending him to Thamasa. They thought he was a loyal general, but he had been rethinking his allegiances to the Emperor at that point. Then later on the boat with Terra, that's his first chance to apologize and say, own up and say I did something wrong. It was important for me in this hack to not make Leo perfect. He's a character with a deeply flawed past, and one that has a lot that he has to reckon for. And now I'm getting caught fighting this battle instead of commentating. Anyway, there is one more scene where Leo has been added to the game, which is during the ending with Terra. If you have recruited Leo, he will give a final farewell to Maduin during her ending. There was about 5 seconds of free space in that ending, and I filled that up by giving him a line. Alright, oh, and we beat the blue dragon. My character's pretty strong at this point. So, Divergent Paths is out. You may now play it for yourself. I have done what I can with the bug fixing, and I hope that you enjoy your time. Alright, have a great day.